Hi, everyone. Welcome to Shifting Perspectives, the Baja Beach Wellness Diaries. Today, we are talking about weight loss and what we have all gone through probably, well, not all of us, but a lot of us have gone through many times, gaining and losing and gaining again, and what we've spent lots of money on and all those fad diets and all of those things. So we're going to get into that with Amy and Bridget and myself, Wendy, is your host. Make sure that you are following us on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel. Click the little bell up at the top, and that's going to give you notifications every time we have a new podcast. Download our app or get in touch with anybody at the desk for an app invite. That's going to allow you to download our app, and you can watch the podcast through that as well. So let's dive into it.
I think it's a good thing for all of us to talk about because we've all gained and lost weight.
And I'm scared to death to start gaining this back. Like, I want this to be it.
Well, then don't.
So easy.
It's not. Trust me, I know. I said when I lost all that weight however long ago, I'm like, I'm never going to gain it back. I didn't gain all of it back, but
I didn't.
But you don't know what life is going to throw at you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. We can use some of this stuff. But during COVID, Kevin and I got on the I'm not gonna say keto because we never got ketosis, but very low carb. Like, we tried really hard, and a lot of people were gaining weight because you're eating your way through it. But
drinking wine at 9
Oh my god. Wild Basin. That's what I was drinking. Do you remember those? They were these seltzers, Wild Basin.
No, I never heard of those.
Yeah, before I got into weight loss.
No,
Wild Basin.
I did all this research because I had nothing better to do. I was like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. And it's like, we're gonna low carb, and he's like, all right. So we got on the whole thing, and I was cooking for everybody in the house, low carb, and I lost 36 pounds.
Wow.
But I only put on over time, really kind of recently, I put on maybe 15 back on, but now I've lost another 35. So I'm kind of, ahead of where I was back then.
Yeah.
But so now I'm telling myself okay, when I finally decide to stop, I'd like to lose maybe another 10 if I can, okay, I'm going to get on the scale every day. And it's not supposed to be about the number. I know you're supposed to look how things feel and how you, look in the mirror. But I'm okay, I'm going to get on the scale because that is a good measure, tangible measure. Okay, if I start to see I put 2 or 3 back on, then I know what I've got to do and I've got to get back. So but I told myself that last time, and I let myself gain, some back. You're scared that that's just what what you got to do, but
I think you just beat yourself up about it, and I think you have to not beat yourself up about it because crap happens. You know what I mean? You get busy, something traumatic happens, or
or you just go fuck it.
Yeah,
well, I just want to enjoy myself.
Yeah, I moved. What year did I move? 23?
Before 20. Was it before? Where were you for COVID?
COVID, I was by myself. I was freshly in my own new place.
That's
alone.
Yeah.
So I was walking 7 miles a day because I was, on FaceTime with my friends drinking wine, but that's when I had lost weight. I was still pretty slim at that point. But then I think, was it 2024? Did I move to Hershey?
Yeah.
And it just, you get off your routine, and you go from living by yourself to living with another person and 2 other people, and it's just and then work got insanely busy with all of our craziness here, which
you have to soothe yourself.
Well, not even that, but there was just I put myself on the back burner. So I did not go to the gym, and I was weight training at least 5 days a week. And then to go from that to nothing, it was, and just
then you let that just kind of roll, you get back onto it. Yeah.
Right. So
I find that for me, I either stress eat or I'm so stressed that I don't eat. It's either one or the other. But don't you feel you get to an age, because you and I are a little bit closer, that perimenopausal kind of thing, that you go between okay, this is it. This is my last shot at it. If I'm going to do it, I better do it now, or it's going to get harder as I get older. And the other side of
or
it,
just
I'm
going to live my life.
Yeah, exactly.
I have one foot in the grave.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna do whatever
like, screw it. I don't care anymore. And I just want to enjoy it. And, the other thing too, like, I will try to get dressed to go somewhere. And I'm like, I hate everything. I'm so fat and everything. And then finally you decide on something. It's like, okay, well, this looks terrible on me, but it's the best that I've got. And then by the time you go out and you're like, all right, well, I look okay. Like, this was fine enough. And then you kind of forget that you ripped your whole closet apart and you hated everything. And now you're like, oh, okay now, and then you just keep eating.
Well, there's definitely a lot of, like, I refuse to buy a bunch of clothes if I'm heavier. So I have less, like, wardrobe to choose from because I'm like, I'm not buying a bunch of clothes because that means I've settled on this. And it's just not, I'm not doing it. So I always have way more, choice of wardrobe when I have less weight on than when I do when I'm more, because I just refuse to buy.
That's smart.
More clothes because I'm like, no, I'm just not,
that's really
I'm not
smart.
settling for this. So I know it's kind of like when you lose weight, they say get rid of all your bigger clothes because you're not going back there.
I kind of just did that. I got rid of like 80% of my wardrobe. And I think it was part of that and part, like, I just hated everything. So I was just kind of revamping and I kind of wanted to pare down and say, like, okay, I only have, that capsule wardrobe sort of thing. Cause I had way too much stuff. And it was a lot of things like, why am I holding on to this? Because when I put it on, I don't really like it anyway.
Yeah.
But I did just kind of, when you do lose some weight and you're happier with how you look, I kind of went a little hog wild and got a bunch of stuff. But now I've sort of lost more. And now some of those jeans and those things are getting a little big. And
you're like, crap.
Oh, crap. But I should probably hold on to those because just realistically, I don't have a lot of hope that I'm going to stay here. I probably will go back up a little bit, but we'll see.
But like, you have the wardrobe thing figured out.
I was just gonna say, rent your clothes. Oh my God. So I lost a bunch of weight, and a lot of that was stress too because of everything we were going through here. And
everybody's gonna be like,
what are they going
drum
through?
roll, what are they going
well,
through?
we gotta do the Netflix. I was just thinking about that. We were talking about that before I left for vacation, the Netflix documentary thing. I've got ideas for that. I'm so excited. But yeah, and I was just like, I'm not gonna buy a bunch of stuff. So I found this, it's called Amore, and I rent like 7 pieces. It's like a little over $100 a month. It's good, like, designer freaking clothes, like really nice stuff,
really good quality.
And the nicest part is you don't even send it back until you get new stuff. So it's like you're never without like a bunch of different stuff for like social media and like it's nice to have like all the different.
Maybe I'm gonna check that out.
It's cheaper than buying a whole.
Because I'm on my way back down again, so I don't want to buy.
You don't want to buy things in the middle and then be stuck with stuff that
especially for like special occasion kind of pieces.
Yeah.
Now, do you have an option to buy if you really fall in love with something?
Sometimes it's expensive, like super expensive, but they run sales and stuff sometimes with things. But I've been really happy with it, and it's a huge variety. And sometimes if I really like something, I'll get it again, so I can wear it again. I love it. I don't feel like I need to like own a bunch of stuff.
That's nice. You're not taking up all that space in your closet.
No, I need to clean out my closet, like you were just talking about, because it's like I gotta let go of like things that it's like I'm never gonna wear this again.
Yeah, I know. Like my 4-inch heels. Like even when I do lose like 40 pounds, I'm not like I just don't. They're fine to wear for like 5 minutes, but then anybody that knows me knows I always bring stage 2 shoes and maybe even stage 3 shoes because I'm just, I'm not at heels.
I have my those are like going out to eat shoes, like just from the car to the restaurant, the restaurant to the car.
Yeah,
like, that's all you can do.
Yes,
because otherwise you're gonna kill your feet. Yeah. Yes.
And then you just feel crappy the next day, like your hips hurt, your knees hurt.
Yeah, right.
Like, whatever,
everything.
Yeah. I was not built a supermodel, so
I think that was the biggest thing for me, like with weight struggles, like being a teenager and like a younger girl, especially being so tall. And I wasn't thin, like I was not real thin. So like I just remember, and I let Britney Spears and like everybody's like with these flat stomachs and just feeling like, why am I not like that? Like, what am I doing wrong? And like, I remember like not eating for that reason, or, I tried the binge and purge and everything like that. And I was not good at throwing up. I hate throwing up. So I had to jump ship on that pretty quick. But just like that, struggle of like, why don't I look like everybody else? There's so many tiny girls. And for me, it was like in two ways. It's like they're tiny and like nobody's going to want me because I'm big and I'm big. Like and girls are fucking mean. Like,
oh yeah,
really mean.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna, we do judge ourselves, and not even just celebrities, but the girls you went to school with, and like even if they are the same height as you, like, well, why? It's so hard to realize that everybody is just built different, and the DNA and all that. And I've always had a pooch, but I wasn't born skinny. I was born 9 pounds. I mean, I've never been skinny, and it took me until honestly, really within the last probably 10 years, 15 years to say, like, you got to give that up.
Yeah.
You are not going to be a size 4. You never will be. You're never going to look like that. I've had 2 kids, but even before I had my kids, I had that pooch that looked like I had kids. Like I was never going to have the flat stomach. No matter how many sit-ups I did. I mean, I had C-section, so I had to get up on that right away. It was never going to have a flat stomach. So just, I had to finally come to terms that I just got to do the best I can. And, now I have lost, over 35 pounds.
You look amazing. I saw you at the craft show, and I was like, when do you look smaller from like when I left?
It was the outfit. But, at the age I'm at now, at 54, like I've lost it since October. So I didn't lose it super fast, but my skin's not rebounding. So like, depending on how I hold my arms, I'm like, oh my God, it looks like creepy. It looks like the arm
I'm
of
gonna
a
have to like get on you about getting in the cryo.
And
I'll be like, Wendy, cryo.
Honestly, like I've done the cryo, done the red light, and I mean, it's only going, it does amazing things, but it is reality. And I'm not weight training, and I know I've got to do that too. I know I need to build the muscle behind it. So again, I know what I have to do. It's just doing it. But, I'm coming to terms with it though. I'm like, okay, well, I could either be chubby and all that can fill out, or I can be thinner and healthier because it's about the way I look, but it's also about health.
And that's
age.
Yeah, and that's where like we've been talking a lot about, what like I think it was like 7 years ago I lost like 100 pounds, which was great, and it was like
that's amazing.
It was, and
pounds.
I did it naturally through diet.
Yeah,
I did and I emphasize this, a proper ketogenic diet, not keto, a proper ketogenic diet, which is very, very, very hard to do, but it will strip fat off your body like nothing you've ever seen in your life.
It does.
But, I was more into I was very excited because I was never skinny. Ever since I was a teenager, I have never been skinny. I've always been the chubby girl. So for the first time, like I told you, at one point I was in a 0 or a 2 in American Eagle. God. And I was like, this is insane. Yeah. But then I started weight training, fell in love with weight training.
I do like weight training more than anything else.
Oh yeah. Because who wants to
I don't want to sweat and jump all over the place.
Although let me tell you, I did butt at the gym yesterday and I was sweating like crazy, but I loved weight training then for the aesthetics, but now as you and I have been talking, and even you're, how old are you now, Bridget?
36.
But so you're pushing 40, so it's it's I can't believe that. Now I feel really old, but you do at some point change from wanting to look a certain way to wanting to be able to function.
Right.
And strength training to me now, I do it in a totally different way where do I still want a huge fat ass? Yes. But I want to be able to get up off the floor and be able to reach for things in my cabinet and be able to live a long life that I don't have to go in a nursing home. So it's more about it's not as much as about the aesthetics and more about making sure your body is able to be strong and move in the way it's supposed to move. So do I want to, drop a couple sizes? Absolutely. But that's also for health reasons too. You know what I mean? It's you change to health reasons as you get older, just because, you want to be able to, go as long as possible. And I've been we talked about, I'm like all into bean salads right now. But you know, like I now my partner and I are trying to kind of do like the whole Mediterranean, you know, lots of like fish, olive oil, beans, like vegetables, that kind of thing. I mean, we try to grow our own food at home anyway because, you know, the world's a dumpster fire. But you know, it's just interesting how you go from doing things for one reason and you're still doing the thing, but now you're doing it for like
for a different reason.
Totally different reason.
Right. You're not
but weight training, people, weight training.
And it may not be like the massive amount of weight. It's just
No.
enough to, you know, build that. And the stretching, you know, yoga is so important.
And
too,
jump
the
training,
stretching.
like people don't realize, like as you get older, you lose so much bone density. So I've been really trying to incorporate like once a week, like jump training, just to like, you need to have that stress on your bones. And it doesn't have to be like a ton, but it has to be enough that your bones are like, oh, we need to produce, you know, we need to strengthen up. Jump training, I cannot.
Like a rebounder, you mean?
No, I'm talking like you need to jump on a hard surface so you have that, like, you don't want like a crazy impact, but you need to have the impact so your you know, the cells in your bones are like, hey, we need to like that. That is like a huge thing. I feel like that's going to be like, you know, everybody's all about the weight training for longevity. I feel like we're going to finally see in the next couple years, like emphasis on the jump training for your you know, for your bone density, because you do lose bone density, especially if you're losing weight, you're losing bone density. So the good thing about, you know, obviously we don't want to be overweight, but if we are, we have more stress in our bones, which is actually grows stronger bones. But we're trying, you know, if you lose weight, it's something you have to think about. You know, you don't have that stress on your joints and your bones, but you do still have to stimulate your bones to, you know, have good bone density. So yeah, I've been really trying to do, like, I'll come home from the gym and I'll go out back and we have like a couple cement steps and I'll just do like boop 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 boop, maybe like 25 times.
On my face.
I know, I'm like, my neighbors probably think I'm such a weirdo, but I really don't care.
I think I feel at this point about jumping like I do about running. I don't think it would go well.
What's interesting, when I did live on my own, I was really following this one guy. I think he was on maybe like YouTube or something, but he said, he's like, go outside and try to jump up on something and you will be surprised if you are over the age of 40. You're gonna all of a sudden hesitate and be like, whoa, wait a second. Like it's like, if you don't,
last time I jumped on something.
if you don't use it, you lose it. It's so important.
I'm gonna go home and start jumping on things, make sure I can still do it. Oh
See
my
me
God.
out front trying to
Just
jump up on the curb.
Well, when I was coaching cheerleading a little bit ago, it was like we have little babies, girls in a circle, and it was like, okay, Coach Bridget, you do a toe touch, and I was like, this didn't look good back then. This is not gonna look good now, and I felt that the next day. So
do they still do herkies?
Yeah, not as much, and that was my favorite. Yeah, that was my absolute favorite jump.
I did enjoy the herkies. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, with like, I don't know about you guys, but for sizes, like when you were talking about like being a 0 or like a 2, like I know at one point it was like, and I don't know if it was middle school or high school. I don't think it was high school. It was probably middle school, but it's like everybody would throw their size around like a badge of like, oh, I'm like a 2 or I'm a 4 or I'm a 0. And like, again, you know, just the way I'm built, like I'm the thinnest I've ever been now. And I'm an 8. Like that is, and for some people an 8 is really maybe their biggest, you know, but everybody's just built differently. Not to even mention the US sizes are completely like, different than like European sizes. It's just like, at the end of the day, who cares? Like, who cares? It just matters like how you feel about yourself.
Well, it depends on the manufacturer. It depends on the store.
Loft. Shout out to Loft. You're always smaller in a Loft. But no, like, you're right.
But why is it that mental thing of like, yes, I'm in a smaller size?
I think for so many years it's been like that. And then it's like, it's almost like politics in this country. Like, we were so all about the little wafy skinny, and then we swung all the way.
And now we're almost
if you're 500 pounds, that's healthy, which it's absolutely not healthy. Like, we have to be real, but also you have to kind of like worry about like, for your body, because you said you're like, everybody's different. you know, what is the best thing for your body and what makes you feel the best? You know what I mean?
But I don't think that was taught that like everybody's body's different because
Right. Oh, no.
I just remember thinking like, okay, like if there's, you know, if I don't fit in any American Eagle jeans or something like that, and like I'm not a 0 or a 2, what am I doing wrong? I'm supposed to be that small. Like that was like always in my head. Like, why am I not the norm, you know? And it's like,
and there is no norm.
The norm. It's just, it is.
There's like an average, but like literally there's like how many people in that average?
Everybody's different,
you know? Yeah. And like, do you guys remember, I don't know if you still had it when you were in school, but do you remember the presidential fitness test?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So like those were absolutely effing ridiculous because like, okay, look at me. I sucked at all of those except the sit and reach. I was golden. Do you want to know why? Because I have really short legs and freakishly long arms.
And I was terrible at that because my legs are huge.
Exactly. So they're like, Bridget, you suck at the sit and reach, and Amy, you're great when you're probably like 10 times healthier than I was. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like we've had all those stupid things that we measure stuff with over the years that don't even like aren't even like used. I mean, maybe that's used now. I don't know. Maybe
I know it still was when my girls were in school.
Maybe they have a better way of like testing people now. But like,
do you have to do like a long jump too? You were probably fantastic at that.
No, I really wasn't that coordinated.
Or like you ran and then you had to jump,
like jump into the sand and like I don't remember.
I feel like there was like marks on the floor.
Or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, that was not fun.
But I do think like, I mean, I know people who are so obsessed with like their weight and like, you know, being a certain size, and then like it's just like you waste so much of your joy in life. Like you can't always be, well, I'm going to do this when I lose weight, or I'm going to do this when I'm fit and healthy, or like, you know, like don't wait. And we've had people the past couple weeks who are no longer with us in this world, like depart suddenly. And it's just, you know, it's don't postpone your joy. For waiting to a point where you think you're going to get, when like you just should be like focusing on making choices every day. Like, you know, like if I go over to Russo's for lunch, I can choose to have a piece of pizza or I can choose to make some off the salad bar. It's like, you know, obviously once in a while treat yourself, but it's like just try to do the best you can every day.
Yeah.
And like this morning, I didn't have time to go to the gym, but I got up, I rebounded, I did abs, I did like what I had time for, and that's better than just waking up and scrolling on my phone and hopping in the shower and going. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's little things too, and it's like cumulative little things.
Exactly.
Like I always say, and Mike won't be mad at me for bringing this up. He'll get on a healthy kick, and like all he'll buy at the grocery store is like organic bean. Like everything is like a crazy diet. It's like so
all
extreme.
Or nothing.
It's all or nothing.
All or nothing.
And then if it doesn't work for a couple days, he's like, screw it. And then you know, it's just right back to, and it's like, let's just take like a vitamin shot every day, or like, you know, that one thing that you're doing, let's be consistent with that one small thing, you know.
And that's what they say. You should start something and build that habit and then start to layer on the next thing, because it takes, how did it say? Like how many days? 21 days to build a habit. So, you know, do one at a time, because and that's what we tend to do. You know, we see the newest fad diet or the newest thing, and we're all in, or, you know, and it depends on your personality, but I think it's the same thing with hobbies or anything else. It's like, I want to start doing this. So you buy all the stuff.
Yeah.
So you get all the stuff and you look at it and then you get overwhelmed and you're like, oh my God, I can't do this.
And then you punish yourself if you're like off a little bit, or if you cheat a little bit, or if you do this. And it's like, you know, you're better off like just trying to stay a little bit more consistent and forgiving yourself. Like, I guess humans are just conditioned to have this like self-punishment in your mind of like, I didn't, you know, I messed this up, so screw everything. Like, you know.
It's almost like investing. Like literally, if you look at investing, you will make more money in the market if you dollar cost average over a long period of time than if you wait to buy at a certain time, because it's just, you will miss those days. You will like statistically miss those days. It is better to dollar cost average, and it's like a consistent every week, every month thing. It's like the same thing with anything in life. Like we all want it now, and we all want it all or nothing. And it just doesn't Like, why do we keep doing that? Because it just doesn't work.
I don't know. And you got to think about all the stuff that you see, everybody's trying to make money. You can't believe, you got to research. You have to research.
Like Dr. Malaxin. Let me just
I was
tell
going
you.
to ask you about that. I had it in my cart and I almost didn't.
No.
Okay, so glad you brought this up.
I have never.
Did you buy it?
I bought their eye cream and I bought their turkey neck stuff. Okay.
Neck salt.
Yes.
What it's called. Yes.
And like, Rule was like, oh, what's that? And I'm like, oh, it's, for my turkey neck. But.
What turkey neck? This is a turkey neck.
Oh, I've been doing exercises.
So you have to fill me in.
I will fill you in.
What are the exercises?
Oh, there's like, it makes sense too, because, okay, where's the squirrel? Squirrel.
Yeah,
Squirrel. Woo! Okay. So it makes sense. Like, a lot of the reason you age is because like your muscles are continuously like getting tight and you're not like stretching them out. So like all this a lot of the times has to do with like your chest muscles and like your big muscle here, and like it's very interesting. So once you start like stretching those on a regular basis, and like I'm telling you, it makes so much of a difference. Not that I don't use good skincare, because I do, but oh my God. So the Dr. Malaxin. So I watched this TikTok lady on YouTube, because you know me, I'm always trying to make a business out of anything in my life. And she is like, she used to be a nurse and now she's like replaced her whole income doing TikTok for skincare, because it was something she was interested in. So she was talking about how like literally anybody is just trying to sell you shit on TikTok, and it's just so horrible. But like, I have never used crappier skincare in my life than Dr. Malaxin. It is just watery and just, it's crap. Like, it is. Sorry, it just is. Now,
I'm so glad I didn't buy it.
Let me tell you. So Medicube, on the other hand, I'm using a lot of different Medicube products right now. And not all of them are for everybody, but I really enjoy Medicube products. But like, I'm very like, use one thing from one brand, like Circadia Honey Cleanser.
Oh my God, that's my favorite.
That's like my favorite thing of all time. But I use some Paula's Choice, because they have stuff you can actually put in a serum, because I use way too many products. So like by the time I slap it all on my face, it's like not going to absorb anyway. So Paula's Choice actually makes like things you can add to your serums. So it makes it like more of a powerful, so you're not slapping 500 things on your face.
Didn't you post something the other day that was like, if I was going to get kidnapped, good luck, because I'll slip right through with all my skincare.
I'll slither right through like a snake. And I'm always trying, you know me. Yeah. I am always down to try like the latest and greatest skincare. But yeah, Dr. Malaxin.
Well, Chloe, my esthetician, always says the neck thing is like from us all looking down at our phones all the time. So I'll try to like hold my phone up here and like always put stuff on. Yeah. Wendy used to tell us that. Yeah. Like back in the old tanning industry days of like, you always put everything up because you don't want it, falling down. So.
Yeah. I've really started to like stretch these. Is this called your platysma bands?
I have no idea.
I think these are, I should know, I'm a kinesiology major. But like this right here, like you should be able to like grab this muscle and like go like this, and like you really, when you first start stretching it out.
Gives me the wigglies.
Well, I'll like put my skincare on and then I'll like kind of.
I don't know. It gives me the.
I'm telling you though, it works. It really, really works. Also, there's a lot of new information, maybe not new information on like, the most attractive people. Like they do these studies on like the most attractive looking people on the planet, and they all have like posterior chain dominance. So it's like how you like work out and how you like, there's a lot to do with like your palate. Like your tongue should always be like sucked up against your palate, and it makes like it's so interesting. It's like I think there's a lot more anatomical things that have to do with aging and stuff than people realize, because we're all just trying to like slap some vitamin C serum on and call it a day.
Well, so much is genetics too. Yes. Like I look at my mom, and my mom is the most, she always would say, wash and wear. Like me and my mom are polar opposites. Like I'm on Amy's end, like slapping on the skincare and everything. My mom was like bar soap, no moisturizer, like nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And like I look at her face and I'm like, thank God. Like she has really, really good skin and she doesn't have a lot of wrinkles. Her neck, we were just on vacation and I was like, let me see your neck. She's like, I want to see what's happening to mine. Like, is mine like my habits or like, is it just, and I'm like, thank God you have the neck you do because I have good genes. But like, it's, I think a lot of it is genetic plays like a huge
My
role.
mom's the same way. It's just, whatever cleanser, just something basic, a little bit of oil of Olay. She's never, she has, she has never worn foundation, a little bit of powder, like, eye makeup, a little bit of blush, that kind of stuff. And yeah, she's always looked good.
I'm not big on like foundation.
My mom used to when she
I
worked.
do like tinted moisturizer. I don't really do like foundation.
I know. I love my tinted moisturizer. I don't use foundation anymore either. It's just,
Well,
as I've aged, I can't. Yeah. And
too, you like when you get older and you start having the fine lines, it really settles in. Like you really have to be careful what you use.
Like I think I could see everything on my face more as I age.
Yeah, because I used to be like, slap the foundation on, powder it up, and then powder it again, and then
and powder was like the look. That's another thing that totally changed. Now you're supposed to look like dewy, and like back in the day, it was like any little bit of oil. Yeah. I had those clear soap wipes, the things that like absorb the oil and everything else, and now it's like no, nobody does that.
Yeah, no, now you have to be shiny.
Yeah, now shiny's good.
Now it's like you could, before you couldn't shine at all. Yeah.
So weird.
Glass skin.
Yeah.
It's funny. I never had a matte face because I have the oiliest skin on earth. So, I
now
tried
it's paying off for you.
I know, right? Because the oilier your skin, the less wrinkles you have as you get older.
Huh.
Oh,
interesting.
Well, you figure it's like your skin staying moist and not dehydrated.
That's true.
Oh my God. I'm like, literally by midday, you could like probably fry some fries on my forehead if I went out in the sun. Yeah, it's like I have like just oily skin overall.
Yeah,
it's just, some people are like
different.
That. Yeah, like literally, I have to like if I have like a special event, I gotta wash the hair that morning because my hair will be crazy. I get like the 5 o'clock, like it's crazy. I'm like my best friend. She can go like 10, 12 days without washing her hair and it looks the same.
Yeah, I can't go that long. But like I even day 2, I don't need dry shampoo. Like,
I think I can go.
I need it at 5 o'clock.
Oh my gosh. No, I honestly don't really my hair never gets oily. I have to wash my hair just because I really can't just style it anymore. It's just too much product and that kind of stuff build up on it. Never.
But again, that kind of goes back to our discussion with weight. Like everybody's different.
We're back around.
Yeah, where's the squirrel?
We squirreled.
We definitely squirreled.
I will say too, I'm big on like the internal supplements for like skincare and health and all that good stuff. So
I was just thinking who said squirrel the other day.
I've quite the bit. Laura.
Oh yeah, girl. Our software tech, like this was like our last meeting with her, and we had like worked with her now for what? Oh my God,
months,
6 months maybe. Yeah. And she said not to squirrel, and we're like, oh my God, you said squirrel. I don't even know when we started doing this, but at one point we got the little guys, and then when
we just squirrel
when things were really rough, Wendy set the goat emoji.
I was gonna say the goat is up in the office.
Stop,
the screaming goat. Yeah, the screaming goat is here. Yeah, I got the screaming goat.
We'll have to bring him on the next podcast.
We're really cranked up. We'll get the screaming goat out. Oh my gosh. Well, anyway, so I have some statistics here about weight loss. So 40 to 50% of U.S. adults are actively trying to lose weight at any given time.
Wow.
I honestly think it might be more than that,
I think
especially now with the GLP-1. And that's what I was going to say about, everybody's trying to make money. We're talking about trends. The trend was to be a really itty bitty, scrawny skinny. Then all of a sudden it was all about weight acceptance. No matter how big you were supposed to, everybody, everybody was supposed to be loved, and love the body you're in and all that. Now all of a sudden with this GLP-1, I feel like everybody needs to be skinny again. That drawn look and that kind of stuff. And it's almost like, it's so readily available now. Like you don't have to go to your doctor. You can get it anywhere. And it's do you feel like it's almost like there's no excuse not to be skinny now because it's so easy to get? Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, I remember it wasn't in the beginning.
No.
Like, even when Lisa and Axiom came on with us, it was still like, oh my gosh, like, you guys can get GLP-1s. And I still shout out to them, recommend if you're looking to do it right, do it through. What I love about what Lisa does is they coach you through it, and that she's not going to prescribe you something that you don't need. But it's, it's way more readily available. I remember people were like trying to get it pushed on their insurance and, all that stuff. I could never do that just because of the nausea. I hate throwing up. I hate being nauseous. And I just can't.
I say if you do it right, in the right dose, you shouldn't have to have those side effects. It's supposed to be just quiet through the noise and all that. But
I think it probably depends where you get it from. Right. Like if you have somebody like guiding you correctly. Yes. Because again, people want like instant results. Mm-hmm. So like how many healthcare professionals are, they know somebody wants the instant results, or are they prescribing them more than they need, right? Or more that they should prescribe them?
There's websites now that say without a prescription, you just answer a couple of questions and they just send it to you. So you're on your own, and it's
all a money making.
It's unhealthy. But speaking of money, they do say the weight loss industry in the United States is worth roughly $135 billion a year.
Yeah.
So,
some people always want, and I get it. Like, it's confidence, like, and that's important. You want to feel good in your body.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think though, a lot of it is where everybody misses the mark and maybe you guys have a differing opinion than me, is I know I was so successful when I did my weight loss the first time because I became the person who you have to become the person. Like if you constantly are saying to yourself, oh, I'm going to start Monday. I'm going to go to the gym Monday. I'm going to go to the gym Wednesday. And then you don't do it. You are actually subconsciously training yourself that you are not the person who is healthy and takes care of themselves and does this. And it's like, I really feel like even with like everything going on now with like the GLP-1s and everything, we're still not treating, like I almost think there should be like a mental, which I think there's like apps now maybe too that teach you mentally what you need to do for weight loss, because I mean it's not all mental. Like you go through hormonal shifts, cravings, all that stuff's like affected, but at the same time, if you address all of those things without addressing the mentalness, the mental case of I am becoming a healthier person. Like, what does that healthy person do? That healthy person gets up. They don't go on their phone. They go right away and do this. Like I do my Tai Chi thing in the morning to get my lymph system flow. Like, it's like, but some mornings do I want to just like lay there and play on my phone? Yes. But it's like, you have to win that mental battle of becoming that new person for it to stick, permanently. Right. That's like the big thing. Like when I got super busy with moving and everything with work and everything, I could have been like, nope. It's like I put myself on the back burner and the person who is fit and healthy and looks like a muscle badass does not do that. So it's like every decision you make is a trade-off.
Yeah.
So it just depends on, I think though that might be the next, everything's like all about the GLP-1s right now. I think the next wave of the future with weight loss is probably going to be like the mental conditioning aspect of things.
Well, when you bring that up, I've known some people in my life who have had the gastric bypass surgery, and it was interesting to me to talk to them that they had to go through a like psychological evaluation and, classes and stuff psychologically to be approved for the surgery before, so it wasn't just the physical part of it. They had to make sure that they were psychologically prepared for it, that they could make those changes in their life, because that is a huge change.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? Like they gotta make sure you're mentally prepared for it? Like, what the heck?
Because you can't eat more than a little tiny bit.
You'll get super sick.
You get super, it's
so
very,
you go in being able to eat what you come out completely different in, like that. So I get it, but it was just kind of shocking to me.
Yeah.
So that completely makes sense. Yeah. You gotta maybe fix the mind before you're able to fix the body.
Mm-hmm.
Everything goes back to the mind.
Everything goes back to the mind. You have to master your mind.
Yeah.
And because I mean, we all know that you don't have to be hungry to eat.
Mm-hmm.
So there was something psychological there.
I know those peanut M&Ms sitting there, say no though.
I know.
But it is really like you can master anything in life, really, if you just like master your mind first. But I also saw an interesting quote the other day where if you're not willing to do the work it takes to make what you want happen, then you might as well stop wanting it because it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
And that is so true. Like, maybe that sounds a little harsh, but really, like, if you want to buy a house in Italy and go live there and you're like not taking steps to do all the things you need to do, like, you might as well stop wanting that. Do you know what I mean?
Sure, how bad do you want it?
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah. With anything like, really. Yeah. How bad do you want it?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, there were some other things that we were talking about before we started rolling, and that was, when somebody is losing weight, we were talking about like commenting on it. When do you say something? Do you not say something? How do we feel when people do or don't say something to us when we're losing weight? And it's such a double-edged sword. I was talking about that. When I've lost weight, and you said like the first time I lost weight, and that's a whole like thing about this that we lose over and over and over again. Why do we do that? But when you're losing weight, you kind of go and you think, okay, I look pretty good, I've lost a bunch of pounds, and nobody says anything. So you might think like, well, what the hell? I'm working so hard, nobody says anything. But then if somebody does say something, you're like, oh, why? Because I looked like a piece of shit before. Oh, you look so good. I'm like, well, thanks. I mean,
did I look that bad?
Yeah, did I look that bad before? So it's like you want people to say something, but you don't want to say something. Or if you see somebody they haven't seen for a long time and maybe they lost 100 pounds, it's like, do I say something? Are they okay? Are they sick?
Well,
like, do I want it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's so.
Some
it's
people
so hard.
ask
like
you that though. Like they literally, like I had one client come in once and she was like, I have to ask you, do you have cancer?
What?
Yeah.
I'll tell you who it was.
Pregnant.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I've had somebody ask me that too.
I've
been on both sides of the stick where somebody will be like, somebody was like, oh, I didn't know you were pregnant. And I'm like, no, I'm just fat.
I had someone ask me that here too. I was like coming out of her ass. Yeah, and she was like, oh my God, are you expecting it? And I was like, no, I just like beer.
It's like,
that's great.
I totally get how people want to connect with you and tell you look good, but then at the same time, sometimes it's a little much. You know what I mean?
I've already said to somebody like, oh wow, you look like you've lost a lot of weight. If you wanted, did you want to lose weight? Like, I've said like, are you okay? No.
I try to just stick with like,
were
wow,
you trying?
you look great.
Yeah.
I also try to tell people look like that they look great anytime.
Just compliment like, oh my God, I love that outfit. Like you look great in that outfit. And sometimes people will say like, oh, thanks. I've been really like working at my weight, and they'll offer that to you.
And I think that's like what you want to wait for is like the opening of like if somebody brings it up, then you can kind of almost take the cue that it's okay to like talk about it with them. But I feel like we should all just get in the habit of telling people good stuff like that all the time.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Someone said to me in November, when everything was even crazier and I was super stressed, I lost a lot of weight. Someone was like, oh, you're so skinny. And I'm like, thanks. Like,
how am I supposed to take that?
How am I supposed, like, I don't like,
yeah, like,
good?
Are you saying
I look good?
Or, whatever, or like, you don't know that I'm like having trouble eating because I'm so fucking stressed out. You know what I mean? So fuck you. But like, it's like people just feel the need
to
sometimes.
Eat or sleep.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Like sometimes people just feel the need to have,
an opinion.
Yeah.
And if you want to have an opinion, just keep it to yourself until it's appropriate to possibly.
Or say, hey, you look great. Like, that's like a,
right.
But
just look at you.
Yeah. Just look at you.
Oh my God. Or even like, you said about their outfit, like let's normalize giving people compliments on like Wendy. Like for instance, I'm always like, Wendy, I love your taste in jeans. Like you have the greatest jeans. And I always am like, Wendy has the cutest outfits. Like, let's normalize, because I've always thought you had the cutest outfits, even when like before you lost weight. Do you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
So like I appreciate your taste in clothes and your ability to put cute outfits together. Like let's normalize talking about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like when people come up to the desk, I always like focus on their nails. Like if somebody, have their nails done, it's like, oh my gosh, where do you go? Like, I love your nails. Like, I want to get that color next time. There's always something you can find, or handbag, or, just.
It's not offensive.
Normalize.
That's not offensive.
And I'm like,
feel good.
I'm the least offended person ever. Like it takes a lot to offend me, but like, I think we have to tread lightly a little bit in this dumpster fire of a world that we live in, and kind of try to just, give people.
Well, and asking someone if they're pregnant is just never acceptable. Except Karen Baver, if you're listening, who walked into Fish Street when I had literally just announced I was pregnant. I was probably only 8 weeks pregnant with Kobe, my first. Karen walked into Fish Street and she was like, you have a glow, you're pregnant. And I was like 8 weeks, and I was like, I literally just found out. Like, it was just like spirit came to her and she was like, you're pregnant.
I can see her.
So Karen, I'm not talking about.
Flip side of that, when I was pregnant with my youngest, she was born in March, and it was like the beginning of December, and I walked into Walmart, and the greeter at Walmart was like, oh, it looks like you're having a Christmas baby. I'm like, actually, like late March.
Whoa!
Thanks.
Like that is not.
No.
And like,
I know. I'm short, so like it's all out, but
to give people grace. They are a lot of people, especially like, I feel like it's like the like, no offense, like because I'm in the age group too, like the 45 to 65-year-old women that say like the most offensive things.
But we can know shit.
But people are just trying to connect with you. Yeah. People aren't a lot of times trying to offend people.
No,
they're just trying to connect with you.
For sure.
They all maybe
to find like common, closeness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
but we were talking too, you said about like, you were so skinny.
Mm-hmm.
The other side of that, and my daughter has dealt with it, is that she's skinny. She's always been. She tries to gain weight, and she
Kevin
gets upset.
Jr.
Kevin Jr.
Yeah.
She has always said to me that she gets upset when certain people that have struggled with their weight, will say to her, she's eating. She's like, wish I could eat all that and be as skinny as you. And inside, she's like, thanks, I don't want to be this skinny.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know how hard I'm trying to gain weight.
Like, it's the same struggle.
I don't want to be a 00 and still have room in my pants. You know what I mean? And she's never looked anorexic. Except when, like, she had COVID and she was, under 100 pounds, and she was scary skinny. But, she has worked really hard to, protein shakes and, trying to do, because she doesn't get hungry. She's one of those people that says, did I eat today?
So's my boyfriend.
Yeah. Like, how do you, God, I eat and I'm thinking about what I'm going to eat next.
Yeah.
I've never understood that. And so I'm probably guilty of saying those kind of things to her too. It's just, but she gets it, that I understand where she's coming from. And I'm like, I'm just not built that way. I don't know how I birthed somebody like that. I really don't. But, she has said to me, like, sometimes some of my friends or whatever will say it's hurtful.
It's like the struggle's real on both ends.
Like, it is. As much as you can struggle with being overweight, you can also struggle with being underweight. So maybe the lesson there is we just shouldn't talk about each other's weight or other people's weight. We're all just kind of fighting our own battles.
We're all just little souls.
Yeah.
Humans. We're like
human experience.
In meat suits,
In meat suits.
I always tell people, I'm like, take care of your meat suit. Take care of your meat suit. Like, really, you're just a little soul, and you've been here probably like a whole bunch of times before, and you had a different meat suit, which is, I also read this the other day. Where's the squirrel? We're squirreling. But if you think about this, any other past life you lived, your body's here on Earth buried somewhere.
Oh, that I've never thought about that. That's crazy.
Isn't that interesting?
Isn't that interesting?
I wonder if people ever find, I'm going to scroll now, people ever find themselves drawn to like where their other body is.
Yes. Or like nostalgic. I heard you feel like nostalgia for like a certain period of time or like a certain place that can like mean like one of your past lives, you know.
This might be wishful thinking, but I've always, when we were down in Cape May, like when I was like a young, maybe preteen, you know, they have those houses in Cape May that face the ocean, and they've got like balconies up on the top floor, and they call those like widows peaks or whatever, that women would stand up there and look out in the ocean to see their husbands coming back.
Oh, yeah.
And that really spoke to me. And I always felt like that was me. I was standing up there like waiting. Ooh. And there's one house, I can't remember the name of it. It's white and red. And I feel like that's my house.
That's crazy.
We totally should go to a past life regression.
Yeah.
We could bring the pod with us.
Ooh.
That would be super fun. Yeah. I think one of our clients actually does that.
Oh, really?
Did Nikki do it?
Nikki doesn't do it, but there's another client you would know.
Well, if you're listening, let us know who you are.
Yeah.
I think she tans at Sinky, or she uses Sinky services, but we should all totally do that. That'd be fun. Anyway.
Cool.
That would be interesting.
Anyway,
I wonder if I'm right.
Take care of your meat suit.
Yeah.
Because you're just a little soul in a meat suit.
You don't have to comment on everybody else's meat suits.
Yeah, everybody has their own meat suit they're dealing with.
Stay in your own lane with your meat suit.
There we go.
Yes.
That's funny. All right. Do we have anything else we want to bring up about this?
Oh, a little squirrel stands up. It's cute.
I think
we're good. Okay, well, I guess we have to.
We just wanted to talk about. We've all gained weight. We've all lost weight. We've all gained it back. We've all lost it again.
It's a very common topic. We can all bond together.
We can all bond.
It doesn't matter our age, what our meat suit looks like.
I don't think anybody like goes through life without any type of struggle on either end, whether it's being underweight or overweight or, you know,
and comparing it. It's so hard not to compare yourself to other people.
Yeah.
And look at other people and say, I want what they have.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's their clothes, their life, their body.
Yeah.
You know, it is. It's hard.
But you can have what you want.
You can. You just have to want it bad enough.
You have to do what is required of that life.
Manifest.
Yeah.